Wake up and win in your business and life. Welcome to the Wake Up Wednesdays podcast with your host, Lucrece Augusma. Welcome, world changers, to another episode of our podcast. I'm so delighted that you joined in to your monthly dose of inspiration to help you wake up and win in your business and life. Today, I wanted to talk about launching into the deep and how one act of obedience can open God's supernatural overflow in your business and life. You know, as entrepreneurs, we grind daily. We know about the grind. And we do that. We grind daily so we can accomplish our goals. But let's be real. We have to admit that sometimes, we could feel that the grind is not producing the results that we expected. But, when you love what you do and you keep pushing anyway and you don't give up, you keep going. And sometimes, God will even drop an even bigger idea in you. And you're like, okay, God, I haven't seen anything working now with what I'm currently doing. And you want me to do what? But, God is in the blessing business and he has a reason for everything. This is exactly what happened to the disciples in the story, and I wanted to share this with you. Here comes accomplished fisherman extraordinaire Peter with his workers and his partners. They're grinding, they're making it happen one day at the Sea of Galilee. And on this day, it wasn't just any type of grind. I mean, they pulled an all-nighter, they were tired, sweaty, everything, okay? And, as typical entrepreneurs, we're used to the all-nighters. So they did what they had to do to try to get a catch, but they didn't catch anything. And Jesus happened to be there in the morning preaching and teaching to the people. And he saw the two boats, by the seaside. And one of them was Peter's. So he asked Peter, hey, let me get your boat. Go out a little farther so I can preach to the people. And, Peter was just done washing up his nets. Him and his partners, they were tired. They were calling it a day, ready to go home because, they didn't want nothing. But, Peter obeyed and he allowed the Lord to, use his boat to preach. And then after Jesus was done preaching, Jesus went even further. He told Peter, you know what? Launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. Now, you could imagine Peter like, what? We just were in his mind. I'm not saying that's what happened, but he probably saying in his mind, like, I worked all day. I worked all night. We didn't catch anything, but let me just muster up courage and, respond to the Lord. And then Peter said, Lord, we've been working all night and have caught nothing. But because you said it, I'm going to let down the nets. Now, those words alone just changed the trajectory in Peter's life and his partner's life. So he didn't just stay there and say, we've been working all night and have caught nothing like some of us do. Like we say, oh, we've been posting, we've been doing what we got to do. We've been, working hard, but I don't see any results. I'm quitting. No, Peter didn't quit, but he took Jesus at his word. And he said, you know what? Because you said it, I'm going to let down the nets. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to start trusting God and letting down our nets when he tells us to. So there's 4 things that happened to Peter when he said those words. Number 1, they received a supernatural overflow. I mean, they received so much catch that they broke the net that they had. So the net that was being washed up is now broken. And when you obey God and do what God tells you, the rewards are exceeding and abundant and nothing less. Next, obedience, it blesses other people connected to you. So because the overflow was so big, Peter had to call his partners. And his partners' boats ended up overflowing. So that blessing that God's going to bless you with is not only for you, but it's for other people. One person's obedience opened the door to overflow, not just for yourself, but for everyone connected to you. Your obedience can open the door to overflow, not just for you, but for everyone connected to you. I want you to write that down. Remember, whatever you're called to do, whether you're a makeup artist, whether you're a consultant, you're a coach, whether you're a designer, whatever you do, whatever you're called to do, it's not just about you. It's about blessing other people. So your obedience is actually the door that helps other people get blessed. Next, obedience produces the results that will amaze you. You will be amazed, okay? You will be shocked. After this happened, Peter was shocked. His partners were shocked. They were like, oh my goodness. So remember, God is in the business of amazing his children, okay? And last but not least, obedience opens the door to you changing the world. Jesus told them, you think this is something? From now on, you will catch men, okay? So these men, they went on to change the world, and they won souls, they healed, they delivered, they prospered, and they shared the good news that revolutionized the world. So all of this happened because of obedience. What type of overflow are you believing for in your business, in your life, whatever area? Is it an overflow of clients and sales, or is it an overflow of resources to make your business flourish? Or maybe you're just starting out and you're afraid of what might be out there. Listen to the words of the master. Launch out into the deep. Act on what was placed on your heart from the Lord. You just never know. Your idea could be the next idea that revolutionizes the world. Your idea could be the next idea that helps a single mom out, or that helps lift up someone out of the dunghill, that lifts them up out of the streets and brings them into prosperity. You never know. The whole key is obedience. The whole key is obedience. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I know it's a short little podcast, but I just wanted to share that nugget, and hopefully it blessed you, and hopefully it, encourages you to just launch out and do whatever God tells you to do. You can make it perfect later. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let God handle that. Okay. In due time, you will perfect and do everything in excellence. But the whole key is to obey whatever he tells you to do. Our agency has created a free resource called Bring Your Brand to Life. It's a checklist that's designed to help you start planning on what God told you to do. So the link to access your free download is in the description. So stay connected with us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for upcoming episodes and videos. Until the next time, World Changer, enjoy your month.